What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today it's time for my FA Cup quarter-final predictions, and this is where things get real. One win away from Wembley. We've got a massive heavyweight clash, a potential walkover, a tricky away tie, and one game that just screams FA Cup chaos. I've looked at form, home versus away records as well, and momentum going into these games since it's been an international break for 2 weeks. Thank God it's over. And after I give all my predictions, obviously I'll show you what you lot voted for in the community predictions, and let's just get straight into it. We're starting with the big one, Manchester City versus Liverpool. Honestly, this feels like a final, never mind a quarter-final. When you look at current form, City are doing that thing they always do at this stage of the season, just quietly going through teams. They're unbeaten in their last 8 league games, and at the Etihad they've been an absolute nightmare to play against all season despite dropping massive points in the league. City at home just feels different. They dominate the ball, they control the tempo, and more often than not they score first, which is massive in knockout football. Liverpool's form hasn't been bad, but it hasn't been consistent either, especially away from home. They've dropped points on the road, conceded goals regularly, and defensively they don't always look secure when teams keep the ball and move like City do. And let's be honest, City have already beaten Liverpool more than once this season, including winning at Anfield. That gives them a big physiological edge. I think Liverpool will have moments, maybe even score, but over 90 minutes, City's control and game management should just edge it. Next up, Chelsea versus Port Vale, and yeah, this one feels pretty straightforward. Chelsea's league form hasn't been great recently, we all know that, but in the FA Cup, especially at Stamford Bridge, they tend to just switch on, and historically, Chelsea are very good at this stage of the competition. Port Vale deserve massive credit for getting this far, but if we're being honest, their league form is really poor. They're bottom of League One, they struggle to score goals, and their away record is rough, conceding regularly and not offering much going forward. That's the problem here. Against Chelsea, you can't afford to sit deep for 90 minutes. If you don't have the legs or the defensive quality to cope in overtime, Chelsea just wear them down. We heard recently that Enzo Fernandez will be banned for this game and their league game as well, because they banned him for 2 games for some weird reason. But even with rotation, Chelsea's squad depth, pace and physicality should be far too much for this League One side. Once that first goal goes in, I think this turns into damage limitation. And this one's actually a bit more interesting than people might expect, Southampton versus Arsenal. Southampton are in really good form at home. They've been winning games, keeping clean sheets, and St Mary's has been a proper tough place to go to recently. They're organised and energetic, and they start games well. But then you look at Arsenal's form and it's ridiculous. They're top of the league, unbeaten in 8, and crucially, excellent away from home. Arsenal don't panic in away games anymore. They control them. They score first a lot, and once they go ahead, they're incredibly hard to break down with their record. That's the key difference here. Southampton will compete, they'll press early, but Arsenal just feel too composed, do they? Too structured and too consistent right now. I don't think this is a blowout though, like people might think, but I do think Arsenal get in front, manage the game and maybe nick a goal a second late on. Yeah, 2-0 Arsenal. And finally, West Ham versus Leeds, and this has all the ingredients of a proper FA Cup tie. Neither side is flying in the league, and that's why they're both in a relegation battle. West Ham's home form has been pretty poor as well, and Leeds' away form is honestly worse. They've only won one away game all season and really struggled to score on the road. Leeds play with high energy, but that also means they leave space. West Ham don't dominate games, but they're experienced in knockout football. They know how to slow things down, and they're dangerous from set pieces. So I think this is tight, scrappy, and probably not the prettiest game. So I can see it finishing 1-1 after 90 minutes, but once it goes to extra time, I trust West Ham more, physically, mentally and tactically. So I'm going to go 1-1, but West Ham win it in extra time. And all right, now that I've given all my predictions, let's see what you guys voted for in the community predictions. Man City 55%, Liverpool 45%, Chelsea 100%, Port Vale 0%, Southampton 20%, Arsenal 80%, West Ham 60%, Leeds 40%. Some close ones in there, especially City versus Liverpool and West Ham versus Leeds. So those are my FA Cup quarter-final predictions based on form, home and away trends and how these teams are playing right now. Let me know your own predictions down in the comments. Tell me who you've got going to Wembley. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next for my La Liga Game Week 30 predictions.